there's a new Absolute universe in DC. Absolute Superman is set to be released in November after Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman, but before Absolute Flash and Absolute Green Lantern. It's written by Jason Aaron, who also wrote Thor, God of Thunder. The God Butcher was a pretty cool story arc you may be familiar with. And the art's by Rafa Sandoval, who has worked on Action Comics and The Flash. Unfortunately, there's less information available on Absolute Superman compared to Absolute Batman, probably because it's coming out a few weeks later. But the core of it, according to the marketing for the book, is without the fortress, without the family, without a home, what's left is the absolute Man of Steel. Angsty looking, isn't he? So yeah, in this one, Superman's place in the world will be different. No family, no home. His connection to Earth is different. He comes here as an adult, so potentially not going to have that same humanity that we're used to. And it's worth noting the Absolute Universe isn't going to replace the metaverse or change anything about the canonical Superman, so you can enjoy it guilt-free. The universe will likely interact with the metaverse at some point, but hopefully that'll just be cool. Darkseid is behind the creation of this universe, which is powered by Darkseid energy, versus the metaverse, which is powered by Superman energy. And I would love it if somebody could explain to me in the comments what that means for a universe to be powered by Superman or Darkseid energy. I understand the basic premise, I guess, as they're talking about the metaverse is kind of a universe of hope versus this Darkseid universe, which isn't. But just what does that mean? Like if Superman died, would the universe be destroyed? Is it supposed to be literally fueled by Superman? That's what I want to know. There will be some changes to Krypton and Superman's origins. We don't know really yet what his place on Krypton is going to be, what his parents' roles are. We don't know what his relationship with any or all of them will be like. But we've been told it will be different. Even how he comes to Earth is going to be different. And even where the whole story starts, instead of starting in Kansas or even Metropolis, the story is going to start in a Brazilian diamond mine. There are definitely some visual differences. I like Absolute Batman's look. He looks cool. Absolute Superman looks kind of like an emo weirdo. He's got the suit similar to the traditional Superman suit, blue suit, got the red and yellow S. It's kind of got a little bit of a different thing over on the side part of the S. It's kind of filled in, which, you know, it's not supposed to be an S actually anyway, so no big deal there. And he's got this like longer hair, got a cape, and he's got these red wrist gauntlets. And it looks like maybe in some of the art, it looks like maybe things can come out of them. And maybe his boots are glowing. And so I don't know. I mean, is he going to have different powers? Is he going to have like new weapons? That could be cool. His cape is different for sure. It's got this grainy kind of texture because it's made from the dust of Krypton, which is a bit morbid. I don't know why you're walking around with the pulverized fossil of your planet on your back. That seems to indicate some sort of psychological issue to me, and maybe they'll deal with that throughout the story. And so everything being different, the villains are going to be different. They're going to be somehow intrinsically linked to who he is, where he came from, whatever his current situation is, but it's not going to be anybody we expect probably. Unless it's Peacemaker, because there's this cover where there's a bunch of peacemakers surrounding Superman, so that would kind of have let that cat out of the bag if that's what it is. There's going to be some familiar Superman characters, some completely new ones, but everything's going to fit into the universe, and everything's going to be built around this idea that instead of Superman coming into a loving home and being raised by human beings, he's going to show up and be alone and apparently very sad, at least as far as I can tell from every single piece of art I've seen about him so far. No Lex Luthor in this story, at least not in the first arc, but maybe he'll come later. Who knows? All this Absolute Superman, Absolute Batman, Absolute Universe stuff is very mysterious at this point, but I'm pretty pumped about finding out what happens with all these. I'm most looking forward to Absolute Batman. I'm just more of a Batman guy, and I feel like what Snyder is doing seems a lot more interesting than what Aaron's doing with this one. I could be wrong, but it just seems kind of depressing. Too early to tell, though. What do you think about it? You looking forward to it?